One of the best things I enjoy about my job is training and coaching and working with real people. It's so much fun. I just got off a call with a global financial services firm, company I've been working with for a number of years. And this particular cohort is a group of high potential women leaders who are looking to be promoted to the vice president level in the next 18 months. And today's topic was all about having presence. What is presence? Well, in the most visible leader framework, having presence is that ability to think, to behave, and also to act with other people in a way that inspires. So it's really your reputation live. It's that ability to connect with people, to bring them up to a higher level, to let them feel that you understand them. So executive presence is incredibly important. For many people in finance, they think that just doing their job is enough. I'm in finance, I'm doing the process, I'm following the compliance, that's all I need to do. I'm really good at my job. Absolutely, that's why you get paid a salary today. But when you're looking for those future leaders in 6, 12, 18 months, you're looking for the leaders that can grow into the next level. One of the ways that companies, particularly financial institutions, will evaluate those VP prospects is their executive presence. And a research by Forbes said that 26% of a promotion decision is made based on someone's executive presence. So this is incredibly important. You want to make an impact, you want to connect with people. Bottom line, you want to be more visible. You want people to see you, not just for doing a good job today, but also someone who can grow into that future role. So with this cohort of high potential women leaders, this is what we were talking about today. We were talking about what is executive presence, what mindsets do you need to have it, what type of executive presence can you use? There's different types of executive presence. This is really important. The ability to flex between high presence and low presence is incredibly important. What is high presence? High presence is that ability to stand up on a stage in front of a big group of people, in front of senior leaders, and engage and connect and deliver a message and inspire people. And for people to look at you and go, wow, you are a great speaker. You are the most interesting person in the room right now. It's a way for you to shine. So your ability to speak in public is key. Your ability to have a clear message is essential. Your ability to engage with a group of people is so important. Often, particularly in finance and other technical backgrounds, people will say, look, that sounds great, Warwick. I would like to have a high presence, but I'm a little bit introverted. I prefer being quiet, just keeping my head down, doing my job. So, absolutely, that's important. You want to feel comfortable. You want to feel authentic. But at the same time, you've got to recognize that different situations require different influencing strategies. And one of those, when you're on stage in front of a group of people, like a town hall, like an all hands, even a client presentation, you need to attract, you need to sort of pull people towards you by showing them that you are positive, showing them that you have a purpose. And that's how you do that with a high presence. How do you do it? Making eye contact, clear voice, an appropriately loud voice for the room. If it's a large room, use a microphone. All of these are things that you can do. You can enhance your credibility through your speaking skills. If you are an introvert and you're comfortable, let's say 5 out of 10, try and move that up to 6 out of 10. What does energy feel like when you're a 6 out of 10, not a 5 out of 10? Bring that up. Practice it. Practice it with your team. Practice it on a virtual call. Practice it in a low stakes situation where it really doesn't matter. But try and go from 5 to 6, from 6 to 7. Because most high presence situations, you probably need to be a 7 or an 8 out of 10 in terms of your energy, in terms of the passion that you're showing. That will set the tone at the right level. So those key moments, you need high presence to attract people towards you. But high presence is not the only kind of presence. You also need a low presence. Now, it's important to mention that high presence and low presence is not good or bad. You need both. But what do we mean by low presence? Well, sometimes you can enhance your reputation and enhance your credibility by listening to others, by deeply connecting to others through great listening skills. I call this the coaching mindset. What does a coach do? They ask good questions, they stop talking, and they listen to the answers, and then they follow up. So it's incredibly important that you're able to do that. Ask good questions, listen, go deeper, play back what you heard, really show that person that you're listening. So you want to have that quiet energy, that listening skill, show people that you're listening. Make eye contact, lean in, take notes if that's appropriate. Play back, paraphrase what you're hearing. So what I understand by what you're saying is this. Is that right? That low presence energy is so important. Sometimes, if you're in a client situation, you need to be speaking less than the client. The client should be speaking 80% more, 80% of the time, and you should be speaking 20% of the time. You want to hear what's on the client's minds. You want to understand their expectations. You want to understand their challenges and pain points, what they've tried before, what they like, what they don't like. How can you find that out if you're talking all the time? You just can't. So we need that low presence. When we're trying to influence up, we're talking to very busy senior people who have priorities, but those priorities change. The priority that this senior leader had last quarter might have changed this quarter. How do you find out if it's changed? You ask questions, you listen, you lean in, and then you adapt to what they're saying. This is where you have to offer a tailored solution. Okay, I understand. This is what you're saying. These are your concerns. Here's what I would do now. Now you switch into high presence. We're going to do 1, we're going to do 2, we're going to do 3. And then the person says, okay, this leader, they listened, they leaned in, they were attentive, they understood me, and now they're telling me what the outcome should be, what we should move forward. I trust this person. That's the kind of person that we want to develop into a most visible leader, using low presence and high presence. That enhances your reputation over time with your senior leaders. Those are a few tips to build executive presence, high presence and low presence. But what about virtual presence? Nowadays, many meetings are done remotely. We're using Zoom and Teams, and we're building, our social presence. Let's talk about that for a second. For those virtual live meetings on Zoom or Teams, you must have your camera on. Why? Well, researchers found that when you're looking at someone, just visual, video only, that actually sends more signals than when you're listening and looking at someone. There's been research done in this that shows that when you just see somebody, you actually gather much more accurate information. For example, in Switzerland, they took a group of 7-year-olds and they showed them pictures of politicians that were running in a French election. So the children didn't know who these politicians were. 71% of the time, the children could accurately assess who was going to win the election, just purely on that visual data. So if you're on a remote live call, you must have your video on. Have a good background. Sit up. Have that posture. Amy Cuddy and those power poses. This is where you need to show it. Show that posture. Be looking into the camera, not checking your email and doing other things. So make sure that you're showing up on a remote meeting with your presence. This is a simple fix. Not everybody does it. But if you want to get to that next level, you want to be ready for that next promotion, you have to show people that you're there. This is part of your executive presence. For somebody working in a global bank, you must have a social presence. You must have a LinkedIn profile. It must be up to date, but that's not enough. Most people never post or comment on LinkedIn because they think of LinkedIn like an online resume. Now that's true for many people, but what about your senior leaders? What are they doing on LinkedIn? Look at the plus one level above you, two levels above you. Are they using LinkedIn? Some will be and some won't. Connect with them over time, every week. Connect with 4 or 5 of those senior leaders. Drop them a quick note. If they post on LinkedIn, add a comment, like their post, comment, add something valuable, not just a 1 or 2 word answer, but on the topic, add some value. Show them that you're interested in what they're posting about, you're positive about it, and you have some value to add, much like you would do in a meeting. If you spend 30 minutes a week building connections with people inside your organization at a higher level, commenting and liking on their posts and adding value, that's going to increase your visibility over 6 months, 12 months, 18 months time. So when that promotion opportunity comes, you're a name. People know who you are. If you really want to up level it, post on your LinkedIn profile once a week. Show them what you're doing at a client, on a business trip, working out a problem with your team, but make sure it has your picture in the photo. This is about building your personal brand. You have to be the most visible leader in your field. So building a social presence together with high presence and low presence is really going to give you that edge when it comes to being ready for the next promotion, enhancing your reputation, and just being seen as the next obvious choice. So today we had a fantastic meeting with high potential women. We talked about all the things that they can do, all the things that they can do, like to use their presence, to position their careers, to take action, to build up their visibility. And then next month, we're going to be talking about how they can use partnering for success. We're going to talk about sponsorships and mentorships. So these are the sorts of things I love doing. I love getting down in the trenches, grappling with real problems, giving people real solutions to increase their visibility, to increase their skill set, so that in those high stakes meetings, they can show up, they can add value, they can be a voice. A couple of extra tips that we had from the meeting today were, number one, if you're in a high stakes meeting with senior people, speak up early in the meeting. First 5 minutes, ask a high value question, make a valuable comment. Anything that you can do in the first 5 minutes will get everybody's attention. If you're the fourth or fifth question, nobody's going to notice you. You're swimming in a sea of sameness. To be the most visible leader, you have to take a risk sometimes. You've got to stand up. You've got to put your hand up. So think about this before the meeting. Write down what your questions might be. Ask that high value question, even if it is a room full of senior people. Do your preparation, even we found when it comes to difficult conversations. If you just spend a few extra minutes jotting down what you want to say, what's your purpose, what the person's reaction might be, what their story might be, how you're going to resolve it, what the outcome might look like, the chance of that conversation ending constructively really ramps up tremendously. So these are the sorts of things that I can help you with to make you the most visible leader. We're going to drop these videos every now and again. What kind of topics do you want me to talk about? We talk about reputation, team alignment, influence, all of those good things for people, leaders working in global businesses. Hope you found these ideas useful, and talk to you soon. Bye-bye.